You know, the thing about people, they don't realize the value of something until it's long gone. They walk around with their blindfolds on, thinking they've got the whole world figured out, thinking they can live without you. But you're not just someone they can forget. Nah, when they lost you, they lost everything. And it's funny, isn't it? They treat you like you're replaceable, like you're some old toy they can toss away when something shinier comes along. But here's the punchline. They don't get it. They don't get that without you. Their world's gonna collapse. Slowly, painfully, like a house of cards in a hurricane. And they'll look around, wondering why everything's falling apart. And by then, it's too late. You ever notice how people will say they care, but the second you're gone, they're the first ones to act like you never mattered? They move on, pretend like you were never in the picture, like your absence is just a tiny crack in their perfect little life. But cracks grow, cracks spread, and one day the whole damn thing crumbles. They'll tell you it's your fault, that you didn't try hard enough, that you weren't good enough. But you and I both know the truth. You gave everything. You put yourself out there, raw and real, while they played games. You bled for them. You cried for them. And what did you get in return? Nothing. Worse than nothing. You got betrayal. You got abandonment. You got left in the dark. But here's the kicker, kid. You were the light. You were the reason things made sense. And now, they're fumbling around in the shadows thinking they're fine, but deep down they know. Oh, they know they screwed up. And you know what? Let them suffer. Let them feel every second of your absence. Let them choke on their own regret. Because here's the thing. You don't need them. They need you. You ever feel like no matter how much you do, it's never enough? Like no matter how hard you try, they just don't see you? That's because they're blind. They're too wrapped up in their own pathetic little lives to notice the storm you carry inside. But that storm, that's power. That's what sets you apart. And they're scared of it, terrified really, because deep down, they know you don't need them. Deep down, they know you're stronger without them. But the best part? Oh, the best part is watching them fall apart. Watching them realize that when they lost you, they lost everything that made their world make sense. They'll try to find replacements, try to fill the void you left, but it won't work. It never works, because there's only one you, and no one else can fit that mold. They'll cry, you know. They'll scream at the sky, asking why things turned out this way. But by then it's over. You've moved on. You've risen from the ashes they left you in, and you're stronger, meaner, better. And them? They're just ghosts, shadows of what they used to be. Empty, hollow. But you're free now. Free from their chains, from their lies. And the world The world is yours to take. So don't waste your time crying over people who never really saw you. Don't waste your energy on those who let you slip through their fingers. They had their chance, and they blew it. You owe them nothing. Let them rot in their regret. Let them drown in their sorrow. And you keep moving forward. You keep rising, keep fighting, because when they lost you, they lost everything that ever mattered. You ever think about what happens when you finally decide to walk away? Really think about it. I mean, for years, they took you for granted, right? They thought you'd always be there. Always. That's what they counted on. They thought you'd be the one they could treat like garbage one day and expect you to be all smiles the next. Ha! It's a funny thing, isn't it? This idea that you're supposed to forgive, forget, and keep giving them more of you. Like you're some infinite well of second chances. But you're not. And that's the joke. That's the beautiful, cruel joke. Because one day, you wake up and you realize something. You realize you're done. You realize you don't have to be their puppet anymore. That string they thought they had on you snapped, just like that. And what do you think happens when you cut yourself free? They panic. Oh yes. At first, they think it's a bluff. Oh, they'll be back, they say. They convince themselves that you need them more than they ever needed you. But they're wrong. They don't get it yet. They don't realize that once you walk out that door, once you take that first step away from their pathetic little world, everything changes. You see, when they lost you, they didn't just lose someone who tolerated their bullshit. Nah, they lost their lifeline. You were the reason they didn't drown in their own misery. You were the one holding them up when they couldn't even stand. And they had the nerve to treat you like you were nothing, like you didn't matter. But here's where it gets interesting. You see, people like that, they never realize what they had until it's gone. You walk away, and suddenly, their world starts to crumble. They lose their grip on reality, bit by bit, day by day, until it all comes crashing down, and they'll pretend like they're fine. Oh, they'll put on a brave face, try to act like your absence doesn't affect them, but inside they're screaming, because when they lost you, they lost the glue that held them together. They thought they could replace you, thought they could fill that empty space with someone new, something new. But it never works, does it? No matter how hard they try, no matter what they do, it's never the same. Because